Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben, and in this video today I want to talk to you about how to get your self-esteem back after you've been through a rough patch in your life. Maybe you've been through a breakup or some kind of massive disappointment or just some other event in your life that has left you feeling like you don't have the level of self-esteem that you want in your life, that you don't have that level of internal self-worth that you need to become the best version of yourself. Now, as I've said in the past, self-esteem is very much the foundation for confidence. It's all about how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your sense of self-worth. If you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to project your confidence on the world. So learning how to boost your self-esteem, learning how to raise your self-esteem is immensely important to creating a greater sense of confidence on the whole. So I'm going to be giving you 4 simple tips that you can start to apply right now to raise your self-esteem back up to the level that you want it to be, or even further beyond that still. If you find this video useful, of course, make sure to leave a like on it for the YouTube algorithm, and let's jump into tip number 1. Okay, so the first tip for how to get your self-esteem back is to address your emotions in an accepting and loving way. Now, regardless of what the situation or event that has happened that has brought your self-esteem down low, you are going to feel a certain way about it. You might feel angry, you might feel sad, you might feel alone, you might feel depressed, you might feel stressed, you might feel frustrated, you might be envious, jealous. Whatever it is that you're feeling, the first step to getting your self-esteem back is to actually address those feelings. Now, we have a tendency when we are presented with negative emotions to just lock them down, to pretend that they don't exist. And we kind of think that if we just ignore those emotions that they'll go away. But in reality, what happens when you ignore emotions is that they just spin out of control and they grow and they grow and they grow and they grow. If you had a wild animal that you wanted to become more tame, it won't become more tame if you just lock it in a cellar and, don't pay any attention to it. A wild animal becomes more tame if you treat it with love, if you treat it with respect, if you treat it with acceptance, and you don't try to push your will onto it. Otherwise, it's just going to fire back in your face. So addressing your emotions in a healthy way is all about just accepting that whatever the emotion is, it is perfectly natural to feel. You are feeling it for a reason, even if you don't fully understand what that reason is, and that it's not going to go away until you sit with it and accept it. It doesn't mean that you have to go out there and act on every emotional impulse that arises, but accepting that these emotions are a part of you and that they are here to stay for better or for worse is the only way that you can gain any kind of control over your emotional life. And the most important thing is to address those emotions with love. You don't have to like your emotions all the time because you're not really meant to. Sometimes you're going to be sad when you want to be happy, and sometimes you're going to be happy when you feel that you should be sad. And whatever it is, that's okay. Understanding that those emotions are a part of you and treat them with the same level of self-love as you would anything about yourself is going to help you to integrate them into your life in a much more healthy way. As I've said in previous videos, hating your emotions, any kind of emotion, let's take anger for example, hating when you're angry is kind of as pointless as hating that you have a liver. It's a part of you and you can't change that. So the first thing is to just address those emotions and accept and integrate them into your life. I have got other videos on emotional intelligence and how to deal with your emotions, so I'll leave some of them in the description down below for you to check out after this video. The second thing is to recognize that your thoughts are just thoughts. Now, when you're suffering with low self-esteem, you're going to have thoughts all the time of being unworthy or not being good enough. And these thoughts are going to just pop into your head, automatic, and they are going to bring you down. They're not going to make you feel particularly good. And trying to repress those thoughts, just like the emotions, is going to mean that they're just going to come back with a vengeance each time. So how do you overcome automatic negative thoughts? You start to recognize them for what they actually are. And the majority of our thoughts are completely meaningless. They don't mean anything. They're just random electrical impulses in our brains, and to treat them as any kind of objective truth or reality or something about ourselves that is true is kind of like comparing a knee-jerk reaction to a well-practiced karate kick. It's not the same thing. Your thoughts are just thoughts. You can't control them, and that might not sound particularly helpful, but on the other hand, they don't actually mean anything. And when you can observe them neutrally and recognize that there are two parts of you, there's a part of you that generates the thoughts, and then there's the actual you which is observing them. And the more you inhabit that observational side of your mind where you're seeing your thoughts and recognizing that those thoughts aren't you, that you are you, and those thoughts are arising from random electrical impulses in the brain, you can start to see yourself as separate, and you don't have to believe what those thoughts say, because you know who you are, that you are you and those thoughts are not you. Or at the very least, those thoughts don't define who you are. The third thing is something that we talk about on this channel all the time, that is working on yourself, working on becoming the best version of you. And this is all about working towards goals and dreams and life visions that are important to you, and setting out action steps and making sure that you are making movements towards your goals every single day. This is something I spoke about in my previous video on authenticity about a week or so ago, that one of the best ways to express yourself authentically is to make sure that you are taking action towards what you actually want and creating the life of your dreams. So know what you want out of life, set an action plan, and then start taking daily steps towards what that is. And the fourth thing is understanding that low self-esteem is simply a belief that you are not good enough. And because it's just a belief and not necessarily something that is actually true about yourself, you can work in a way that will dismantle that belief over time. So if you have a belief that you are not good enough, you can go out and start to find evidence in your life that you are. And the evidence will be in the times when you do something positive in your life, take a positive action towards your goals, when you find yourself in the company of good friends and family, and all these positive experiences of acceptance from the world and also self-acceptance will all create the evidence that you need to show yourself that you are enough. So much about self-improvement is chasing perfection, and it's not something that we can attain. Sometimes the best possible version of ourselves is a version where we are just okay with who we are. You don't have to be a billionaire who lives in a mansion with a 20-car garage and a perfect family and all the money in the bank and all this power and all this and all that and everything that everyone says that you should have. Sometimes the best version of yourself is just somebody that is okay with being who you are now. And so if you want to overcome that belief that you are not good enough and you want to replace it with the belief that you are good enough, that you are okay just as you are, start to go out and find those experiences, those daily experiences where you see for just a moment, just a glimmer, maybe sometimes just a glimpse at minimum, that you are being accepting, or that you are accepting of yourself, and that you are good enough. So I hope you have found that video useful. I hope you found those 4 tips to be interesting and useful that you can apply to your life straight away. I'm going to leave some other videos down in the description down below that will be helpful for you so that you can learn a little bit more on those specific points, because I accept that in a video this short I definitely haven't been able to cover everything in the depth that it probably needs to be covered, but my goal is to give you everything that you need to get started now and have further information available to you whenever you need it. So if you found this video useful, make sure to leave a like on it. Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below, and I will be responding to every single comment as soon as I possibly can do. If you are new to the channel, make sure that you are subscribed for more videos just like this on a regular basis. And if you are looking for somewhere to begin with your confidence, make sure to click the first link down in the description. That will give you immediate access to my 100% free confidence short course, so that you can learn how to double, triple, 5x, or even 10x your confidence. It's going to provide you with the practical skills and understandings that you are going to need to start to create your most confident life. And if you're looking to accelerate that progress towards creating unlimited confidence and to become the best version of yourself through confidence coaching, make sure to head a little further down in the description to the work with me section. Click on that link. We'll arrange a discovery call to find out if confidence coaching is the right investment for you, and we can go forward from there. But otherwise, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very soon.